Hey, my Crew Philly peeps, welcome back to the Crew Philly YouTube page. It's your boy, Josh, here coming at you with another Jesus tidbit today. We're going to look at the story of Jesus, just following him calming the storm in Matthew 8, verses 28 to 34. In this story, Jesus heals two demon-possessed men. So let's just jump right into our Bibles and look at the passage, and then we'll look at the things that are significant to us, and maybe even some things that are significant to the way things are right now in our world. And so let's just jump in. In verse 28, it says, when he arrived, Jesus, at the other side of in the region of the Gerasenes, two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him. They were so violent that no one could pass that way. "What do you want with us, Son of God?" they shouted. "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." He said to them, "Go." So they came out and went into the pigs, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and died in the water. Those tending the pigs ran off, went into town, and reported all this, including what happened to the two demon-possessed men. Then the whole town went out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they pleaded with him to leave their region. This is a crazy story. First, Jesus just calms all of nature. They step out of a boat, and when they get out of the boat, there's tombs down by the water, and two demon-possessed men just come out, and you know, in our day and age, there's lots of different roads to get to places, but back in Jesus' day, there might have been one actual path to go to a place, and these guys were making it impassable. There was no way to get past them, and you know, Jesus had to confront these people, and really they confronted Jesus. So Jesus, you know, the Son of God, the Holy Messiah, is coming, and they shout out, "What do you want with us, Son of God?" Immediately, they just call him out for who he is. They call him out to be the Messiah. And then they say, "Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Even the demons know the outcome of the Bible. Even these demons know that they don't win against God. That's just crazy to me. And then they see the most unpure thing in the area around them, and they say, "God, Jesus, send us into these pigs." And so Jesus drives these two demons out of these men, and immediately these men are healed, right? And I love when Jesus heals people in the Bible. I wish there was more visual and more description of what happened to the people who were healed by Jesus, because, you know, when Jesus heals us, a change happens, right? Their faces probably were no longer sad and frustrated or contorted in the way that they were. They were no longer violently moving and convulsing. They were no longer chaotic, right? Jesus heals these men, and it becomes unchaotic for them. But you know, when Jesus moves, sometimes chaos follows. What happens, right? Jesus sends these demons into pigs, and this is a flock of pigs, a herd of pigs come flying down a hill into the water, and they all drown. That's crazy. I don't even know how to explain that, right? I don't even know how to even begin to break down what that means. But for these people, for these villagers, that was their livelihood. And their livelihood just run down. But at the same time, their livelihood was something that was against what God had called them to at that time. Thank God for the cross, right? Thank God that we have the ability now to consume things that once were considered unclean, like pigs and things of that sort. But anyway, not to get off on a tangent. Jesus' miracle brings everyone from that town to him. This is a common theme. When Jesus moves, people come. And so in this time, Jesus moved in such a way that the entire town comes to him. But here's something that I think we need to understand, that when people come to Jesus, when people witness and see the greatness and the goodness of who Jesus is, they don't always respond in love. They don't always respond in acceptance. They don't always respond in claiming the truth. These people, having been told and explained by these witnesses that Jesus just healed these men who had made their way impassable, and he just made a whole entire herd of pigs go into the water, they come and they're fearful. Now, this is what I want you guys to think about. Why are they fearful? Are they fearful because of what Jesus just did? Or are they fearful of what Jesus is going to ask of them? And I think this is where we can relate to this story. When you see Jesus move in your life, or around you, or in someone else's life, how are you going to respond? Are you going to be in awe of him and praise him and follow him? Or are you going to ask him to leave because you're not ready, you're not willing, you don't want to change the way that he's going to ask you to? It's hard. But the one thing that we know is that Jesus, no matter how we respond, still loves us. He still cares for us. And he still asks us to come to him. Even if you've already responded negatively to him before, you can still respond again. And this time in a way that follows Jesus. As we end this video, I just want to remind you that when Jesus moves in our situations, when Jesus calms our storms, calms our chaos, he doesn't do it for our response. He does it because of his love and his care and his compassion for us. Jesus is able to heal us mentally, to heal us physically, and to heal us spiritually. And so today, I want to challenge you, when you see Jesus move, to think about how are you going to respond. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch our videos and to just delve into who Jesus is and what Jesus has done. And I just want to ask that if you're enjoying this content, that you would like, share, and subscribe to this channel, that you would let other people know about what's going on. And I'm not going to leave without saying this to y'all. Toodles.